Hello and welcome to Jammu Links in Conversation with series. Our guest of today is Mr. Kunil Bhalla, Managing Trustee of Harbans Bhalla Education Trust, which is providing education to the needy. Mr. Bhalla is a humble being which is associated with many trusts and social organizations which are helping individuals and families for their collective well-being. Living an exemplary life, he ensures to take personal interest and active participation for the upliftment of the needy, the underprivileged, and the neglected section of the society. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Sir, Harbans Bhalla Education Trust is mainly associated with providing education to the needy. So tell us your role as a trustee in it.
Since its inception in 1997, I have been the managing trustee. And I have been working at it because I am very passionate about the need for education. Because I think education solves a whole lot of problems. And as a managing trustee, I have seen this trust grow, both in getting support from donors and providing help to the children. So we started with 11 children and in 1997, and today we are reaching out to 600 children.
So coming from a small village like Chakroi in Jammu, then studying in finest school YPS in Patiala, and then you did your graduation in Hindu College, Delhi, and you also have expertise in business strategies and finance. So how did you got associated with the trust? Was the inspiration came from Mr. Harbans Bhalla, who is also your uncle?
My father and both my uncles, they studied in the Chakroi school way back in the 1920s and 30s. Okay. And our family from Chakroi moved to Jammu in the mid 1950s. So I really didn't study there. So once we moved here, then I studied in YPS, Yadvindra Public School, Patiala. And then I joined Hindu College, did my political science honors, and then did law from Jammu University. So I have, I was inspired by the fact that my father and uncles were able to move from that little school, a small government school, and they were able to make a success of their lives. So I thought that these children who are underprivileged also have a chance. There is nothing that is stopping them except education. That's what my parents realized, and I think that is what I felt that I could help some of these children. So we started from Chakroi, but then we moved on to a whole lot of other villages. So today we are almost reaching out to 100 villages in and around Jammu, and more than 80% of our children are girls.
So you're also managing director Nitco Industries, and you're also associated with a lot of charitable trusts. So how do you plan your day? What typically goes in your daily routine? How do you manage social work?
My time I have divided that my morning time till about 3 in the afternoon I give to my commercial interest, which is Nitco Logistics Private Limited, and this company is a 50-year-old company, and I am the managing director for the last 20 years. But in the afternoon, after 3 o'clock, I come here and I am here till about 7:38. So I have this office, which is our trust office, and here I do all my social work. So I have divided my day, and when I come here, I wear a social hat, and I look at life differently, because in commercial, you have to think differently, and in the social work you have to think differently.
So that's so good to know. I hope we all wear this social hat and give something back to the society. So, what is the most common thing you or your team deal with the people you are serving? Like, probably in village areas, there must be some common traits that you come across the people you are serving as your social work.
The problem is that because there is no education, there is no importance for education also in those families. So first challenge is to make them realize that education is very important. Scholarship is a certain money we give to them, so that is one of the ways we support education. So when we give them scholarship, that is sort of an incentive also for them to listen to us and to start looking at education in a different way.
So, like you said, you're focusing on education and you're also focusing on convincing the villagers to encourage their children to study. Are you also addressing the issues like sex education, drug addiction?
Here I would like to mention that almost last 12 years we have been associated with Jammu University.
Okay.
And there was the head of department at that time, Professor Khan. So I had a meeting with him and I explained to him what we were doing. So he was very happy. He became associated with us, and the psychology department of Jammu University has been sending their scholars who are experts in counseling, and they come and counsel our children and their parents. Many of these families have a lot of other issues besides only the money. They also have, drunkenness, wife beating. These kind of problems are there in these families. So, counseling is very helpful to them. And I would say that that is one of the important aspects which we cover, that we try to motivate their thinking.
Okay.
Over the years, 2, 3, 4 years it sometimes takes, but we find that most of the parents whom we deal with, after a certain time, start thinking of education in a different way, and by the time their children reach at the higher level of classes, they are determined that my child must go to college, my child must reach somewhere in their education. So they start differently, but they end differently. While we interact with our children, we project these things.
Okay.
It's not that we don't tell them. In fact, for example, the Swachh Bharat campaign, all our children, we have told them, you are our ambassadors, you are ambassadors of the Prime Minister. You have to go back to your villages and see that your village, your house, your surroundings are kept clean. So we try to give them these values. We talk to them about sex education also. We have had doctors and volunteers come and talk to them.
So your trust started in 1977 and you've come very fine so far. So what do you think are the challenges that were there back then, and what are the changes you see today? Like, is there any funding issue or the kind of volunteers back then or now? So how do you see this scenario today?
We have been, I think, fortunate. We don't get any funds from the government. We don't get people just out of the blue sending money. That is not happening. Probably we do not project ourselves in that way. Like there are certain social organizations which get funds through internet and through other things. We are probably not projecting ourselves well. But all our associates, our friends, our business associates, our relatives, whoever have seen the trust once, they have not only contributed consistently, regularly, they have brought in more people. And over the years, we have never felt the shortage of funds. Every year we have been growing, and every year the funds come.
So the trust is working more on paid forward, like people who have actually experienced it, done well from themselves out of the trust, they are actually paying it forward. They're coming back and joining the trust.
A recent incident is that one poor boy, for 9 years he was getting scholarship from us. He was selected in IIT Bombay.
Okay.
And he got a job in the Geological Survey of India. from a very backward financially backward family, but progressive in thinking. He got this job, and he came and met me the other day and gave me 5,000 rupees. He said, "This is my contribution now to the trust." So not only the my friend or our associates, business associates, but even children who have been associated with us, who have done well, are coming back to us and helping the trust.
So, like you said, that 80% of the children you're helping with education are girls, and it's really remarkable to know that someone is actually helping the girl child. But how do you see the women's plight even today, in today's times, especially in the areas you visit?
See, I think in the cities and in educated families, probably there is some change happening. But when I go to the villages, I feel that we are in the medieval times. Things are really bad. Very often we see the parents send their son to a private academy where they have to pay fees. They have less money, so they don't want to send the girl to the private school. They send the girl to the government school, which is free, thinking that maybe he'll get a better education there and the girl doesn't matter. That is the thinking where it's going on. We see the families, the wives, they are ill-treated. They are used little better than domestic servants in their families after their marriage. So I feel that education has a lot to do to change this. So that is why our focus has been on education, and especially for the girl child. And as I said, maybe in the town there is a change coming, and I'm very happy to see that in many instances I see women coming up. But I think there is the bulk of women who are not getting this, and their families are not at all supportive. In fact, the families are the bigger problem. So their change in their thinking is required. As I was telling you about counseling and our constant intervention, we talk to the parents repeatedly that the girl is very important. And I think the message is very clear. When we say 80% of our children should be girls, we are focusing on that and we are working very hard. And I hope more such social organizations work towards upliftment of the girls, because especially in the backward areas, in the economically weaker families, this is very strongly needed.
We often see that the most difficult part of doing social work is actually keeping your personal life at stake. So how supportive is your family in doing such cause? Do they also come forward and help you out in it?
Well, once in a while I am told that, see, Sunday chutti hota hai, so where are you going? Why are you going to the field? Because we visit villages almost every weekend, because there are so many homes to visit, so many children to visit, so many families to interact with. But that is not really, my family has been a big support. Actually, I think it's not possible to do all this until there is a very strong support. My wife and my children have been a big source of strength.
Sir, any last message for our Jammu Links news viewers?
Well, I wish a lot of success to Jammu Links, and I am very happy that you have come and talked to us. And to the citizens of Jammu, I would say, give back to society in whatever way you can, little or more. And if you want to contribute to an effort which is very genuine, very on the ground, come to us. Let us make you meet our children, our families, and then contribute. And good luck to Jammu Links.
Thank you so much, sir, for being on the show. It is really an honor to meet you. Mr. Bhalla has surely left us with so much of motivation and inspiration to do our bit to give something back to the society. Keep watching Jammu Links in Conversation with series, where we keep bringing you personalities of interest from Jammu. Take care and God bless.